keys to dealing with difficult people, troublesome people in your life who have an effect on you. They're irritable, they don't like feedback, they become angry quickly. What do you do? Welcome in, fam. Much love, Trav here. I don't claim to have all the answers, so we're going to discuss it today. I have some strategies. I'm not perfect at this. I imagine sometimes I can be a difficult person as well, so we're going to talk about how to not do that. But the big picture thing is, in our lives, a lot of our happiness and our unhappiness stems from other people. Laughter, generally we laugh with other people. Other people, if we don't have good relationships, can have toxic, bad feelings as well. So it's important that you have a good strategy for managing difficult people. And to define difficult people um, in relation to you, or you in relation to someone else, is when you have an impact on someone and you don't like feedback, you don't like hearing about it, you're quickly angered or quickly irritable. So an example would be, if me and you are roommates and I like to play the TV loud right next to your room when you're trying to sleep, and if you say anything, I'm going to get mad at you. That you might be able to relate to that, not just in who you're living with, but in who you're working with, who you go to school with, who you have in your interpersonal relationships or people, or circles, friends of friends. It's a common thing. We live with people, and sometimes people are going to not be very considerate and make your work difficult. A lot of people, though, you say something and they're like, "Oh, I didn't consider that. Sorry about that." But difficult people, by definition, it will be an argument. It will be a confrontation. So, what do you do? How do you handle this? So, two key things here. The first one is, in general, your goal should be in these situations towards separation and disentanglement. If your lives are entangled, there's going to be greater friction, there's going to be greater annoyance, there's going to be more resentment build up, and there will also be more arguments, or you just don't want to be in that situation. So actually, back up 1 second. You don't want to be a difficult person. So the issue with being a difficult person is that if a difficult person is not available to feedback, it limits their growth. And also, people don't like to be around it. It's annoying. So you want to be receptive to feedback so that you can grow. If you have a reputation as being difficult, then people won't come to you with feedback, and it will limit your ability to grow, because we grow our best from coaches, mentors, peers, people around us saying, "Hey, have you considered this?" or "You can improve this behavior." So you want to have a reputation for being coachable, not for being uncoachable, for being easy, and being like, "Thank you for that feedback, I appreciate it, my bad." Okay, fast forward to key of disentanglement. So for instance, and this goes with, also, the second key is this serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So you can't change people. You cannot change people. Other people. You can change your own situation, your own relationship. So if you're at war with your roommates, then you can't control them, but you can control moving out. You can move out. You can, if your boss, your coworkers, it's just too difficult, you can find a different job in the same industry. Eventually, you can. You don't need to be friends. If someone is hanging out with an ex difficult person, you can pass on it. So just control how much you're involved with them. Move away, disentangle, move out, right? Because you cannot change them. So that should be your first resort. Should be, I'm going to not even talk to this person. I'm going to move away, disentangle in whatever ways I can. However, we live in communities, we live in a society. So you move around, you'll find a new difficult person, possibly as a roommate. You'll find a new difficult person in your class. You'll find a new difficult teacher, boss, peer. So you also need strategies for dealing with it when it's not appropriate for you to leave, when it's not appropriate, or when The pros of the situation outweigh the cons. So God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the thing I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So when it comes to any sort of confrontation or feedback that you're giving, two things. One thing, you want to stay very goal-oriented, what you're trying to accomplish, and not let it down and bog into a fight, argument, and be very clear about what sort of outcome you want. And that outcome should be towards disentanglement, should be towards separation. So, and I'll give an example of that. And it should be, you can't control them. So, and by definition, they're not going to be happy for you to bring it up via any way. Whether it doesn't matter how you say it, whether you talk to them in person, you have a meeting, you stop them, you send them a text message, you send them an email. They'll be mad no matter what. You cannot control that, but you can control what you do and your goal of the situation. So, for instance, if I'm that annoying roommate who's playing games or watch the TV when you're trying to sleep and it's disrupting your sleep, then there's something to pick a fight on that, or not, really in this situation is picking a battle on that key thing. And not on other things. Maybe they're slovenly, maybe they're alcoholic, maybe they have all these other, you don't care about that stuff's not as affecting you directly as this. So you're saying, hey Trav, and however you want to contact, I'm going to be upset if I'm that difficult person, and I'll bring up other stuff, I'll bring up your problems, I'll bring up shit that bothers you, I'll accuse you of attacking me, but you need to stay focused on, the goal is to get me to wear headphones, or to get me to watch in the other room, to get me to put it on low volume, get me, the goal is disentanglement, separation. So there's a lot of friction, and the goal is a good result would be that I'm wearing headphones now, and there's less friction, there's more entanglement. So you're moving towards separation, even if you're picking to give feedback, and which is going to result, by definition, argument in this situation. So, in summary, try not to be a difficult person. Try to be considerate and conscious. And if your failings are pointed out to you, then try to take a couple breaths and think about it, and even say thank you, I'm working on that. And so that you have a reputation, people can look at you and hey, this person's coachable, and you'll be able to grow faster that way. And then if there's very difficult people in your orbit, it's easy to get caught up in battles, but look to focus on what you control, which is you. And if you can leave the situation or have them leave the situation, that's probably a good way to go, because you can't focus on changing people. And then if that's not really appropriate, or you need an interim solution, don't worry about them getting mad, because it's going to happen, and focus on the outcome that you want, which will reduce friction and reduce run-ins and reduce issues, and improve your living space, improve your working space, improve your relationships. It's easy to think that this is the norm, but it's possible to have a situation where everybody in the house gets along, everybody in the workforce gets along. You're not necessarily all friends, but people are considerate and think about each other. So I hope you find that helpful. If you've got another way that you want to share, please throw it out in the comments. Appreciate it. I'll look forward to hearing what you have to say. And I'll look forward to reading the comments. And I will talk to you soon. Peace out.